So today we're going to be exposing LG OLED fanboys. So as you see, the color temperature is on W50, and you can clearly see there's a blue tint compared to a properly calibrated Sony on HDR. And every time you don't go into extreme detail and show settings and over justify why you've arrived at the conclusions you've arrived and why LG OLED is underperforming the way it does, you get all of these complaints. Oh, it's cooked. It's biased. You're not actually showing the results because the truth is they know how shitty LG OLED is. But I'm showing you in real time. This is W50, and we're going to back out here and we're going to show you guys I'm in cinema home user, the same as I've been in. And there's nothing cooking the books. There's no fraudulent anything about this. This is what it is. I'm not trying to weaken the color temperature. When you look at a WRGB OLED from LG specifically, and you compare it against a TV like the Sony X900E for HDR, the difference is quite real. I don't care how you slice it. I don't care what kind of excuse you want to make. There is better color. The black on the horse is crushing. The brown is crushing more. I mean, the overall ambiance is worse. And then as you skip around and go to different chapters on the Spears and Munsell evaluation disc, like chapter 3 here, you can see there is a massive difference in luminosity. Now that I'm in a completely pitch black room, you can totally see that there is so much more luminosity. And look, let's get that overhead shot right there. Not necessarily overhead, but get an idea of it, right? As we just kind of move around, you can see, dude, like it looks so much better on the Sony X900E. And to have to explain this is proof of the LG community's problem. They can't accept a loss. They can't accept when they've actually, honest to God, just have to, accept defeat and room for improvement and all that good stuff. And this example right here is why year after year I get frustrated when they say they're the best. They say they're so fantastic, they're so amazing, they use so many superlatives to describe their superiority over other people, when in reality it couldn't be further from the truth. And it's annoying for me because I get disappointed. I hear year after year LG is amazing. It's nothing like the C9. It's nothing like the C8. It's nothing like the C7. And then year after year, I'm treated to image quality that's so disparagingly different that people think I'm playing with the white balance settings and just choosing the warmest color temperature on the Sony and putting the LG in the coolest color temperature, because that's how bad it looks by comparison. Guys, I don't have time to make these kinds of comparisons up. I'm showing you in real time what it is. I'm going to continue to do so, and it's going to hurt. And it's supposed to hurt, because this is what happens when you listen to mainstream lies coming out of Digital Trends, Artings, other articles that are not telling you the full story here. The full story is simple. When you actually just honestly buy the product yourself, a retail unit, no cherry pick stuff, you get it in a room, you plug it up, you optimize the hell out of these displays, and you do it to make it just get the most wow factor out of it, right? You're trying to say ooh and ah out of this TV. And when you do that, I guarantee you, every day of the week, the Sony is going to come out on top. And everybody keeps trying to claim that, it's biased. And I shouldn't say everybody, it's the LG guys, but I have to point this behavior out because this is what you're going to run into. You're going to be on forums. You're going to be websites like Amazon, Best Buy. You're always going to hear how great LG is. You're going to always hear how cooked it is. And this video, again, I was on W50, the same HDR mode. I'm not doing anything differently, but here you're seeing the evidence, the proof, undeniably, that Sony is just better and LG is a washed out picture. Now, people try to call that picture at the top oversaturated and the picture at the bottom natural, because the truth is it's inadequacy. They're overcompensating for what they don't have, and they're attacking literally anything they can, grasping at straws as hard as they can to try to claim some victory they don't have. Now, the Sony is not a perfect television, and in a darker room environment, OLED is definitely going to take the cake. But as you're clearly seeing in this pitch black environment, it's not blooming, it's not clouding, there's nothing. It's just clean. I mean, the level of detail is wonderful. And this is the kind of stuff I try to show you guys and try to tell you guys when you're reading up on these TVs and you're seeing these comparisons that are ultra crooked and ultra biased and ultra fixed. It's not even close. Do I have to show more? Now that I'm in a pitch black room, you can clearly see what I'm talking about. I know you can see what I'm talking about. The color differences are ringing through loud and clear. And actually, the second time around, the flower on the Sony didn't look as bad on the camera, but I'm telling you, the LG C10 still took the edge on that flower. But as I look at all these various different scenes as they're moving, as they're cycling through, I mean, honestly, guys, the LG C10 is not doing it like the Sony is doing it. I mean, on this scene they are. I like the reds. I feel like the reds on the Sony are a little bit inaccurate. I feel like they're a little bright, but you know, I have seen tulips that are kind of bright like that. So, you know, I haven't really seen tulips that are really a dark rose red. So I think from an accuracy perspective, Sony is still delivering the right picture. We're in a dark room, man. No tricks, no blooming, no clouding, no flashlighting, no edge bleeding. Now, here on the pen, and when I hit pause, when the ISO ramps up, trying to recognize things, you're going to see that light way more than what you're going to see in real life. But when we actually focus on the pen itself and we get closer, you're not going to see any of that stuff. Watch. It's going to be real time, okay? And I'm going to get it to focus on the pen. I could get up on it and show you exactly what I see as I see. You see how it goes away and it fades? It's a little grayer, but it's not like flashlighting and clouding once you focus. It's because it's trying to rack the metering for two different displays that you run into problems, because as I back up now, you see how it gets brighter, and when I get closer, it's now becoming more uniform like I see on my end. That gray uniformity that you see up there, that black uniformity where it's a little gray, that's what I'm seeing on my end. It's just slightly gray. Now as I back out and I start introducing the C10, now it just looks like a clouding mess. So that's also another part of these comparisons that can be very deceptive, that a lot of people don't like to show you. They don't like to tell you that when they're saying, oh, look at the edge bleeding, look at the blooming, or whatever they try to point out. It's not like that. These TVs are not made to a crappy standard like people are trying to pretend that they are. So I wanted to show this off and make it abundantly clear for anyone questioning, anybody unsure. When I show hue differences like this, I'm doing so at W50, the warmest the LG could possibly be. The only way around this that I could possibly think of in my head is to go in to the settings, and into the settings, you'd have to go into additional settings, and then you'd have to go into eye comfort mode and turn that on. This has been my go-to run-to trick to defeat the blue hue, and not even that took it all the way away. It made it a lot better, a lot warmer, but it's really just like a warmer, kind of colder gray, and by comparison, it doesn't really look that much better. It's still a mess. And when we go into the eye comfort mode and disable it, we're going to see in real time what that actually looks like. So we disable it, and it gets way cooler. You see that? Warmer, cooler, warmer, cooler. So there's clearly a difference here and what's happening. And again, that was on W50. So the moral of the story is, when you see all these LG fanatics, these crazy people talking about how wonderful their TVs are, it's justification because they have buyer's remorse. You're really seeing an industry, I mean, give a TV favor at this point for no reason. This TV did not earn the prestige that it has right now. It is not as fantastic as people say. People updating from old TVs from like 2005, talking about, I have the C10, it's a great TV, I don't know what you're talking about. These are the people I'm talking about. The people who had the lowest expectations going into it and don't have TVs like the Sony X900E to directly compare and see just how low LG is shooting. So again, just wanted to put this out there for anybody who this may concern. This is the result. I want to thank you guys for watching the #1 brand in honesty, and until the next video, I don't doctor anything.